CNN has decided that they are going to start reporting the actual news, and welcome to the arena, CNN.
Seems to be working for them, too.
It does seem to be working for them. They have broken several stories recently, and it is working for them. People are looking at it, and I don't know exactly how anybody is going to argue with it. It's not Fox News. It's not some right-wing hack.
Mm-hmm.
It's CNN. And here is the latest on Benghazi from CNN. Cut 203.
Sources now tell CNN dozens of CIA agents were on the ground that night and that the agency is going to great lengths to make sure whatever they were doing and whatever happened that night remains a secret. Here's investigative correspondent Drew Griffin.
CNN has learned the CIA is involved in what one source calls an unprecedented attempt to keep the spy agency's Benghazi secrets from ever leaking out. Since January, some CIA operatives involved in the agency's missions in Libya have been subjected to frequent, even monthly polygraph examinations, according to a source with deep inside knowledge of the agency's working. The goal of the questioning, according to sources, is to find out if anyone is talking to the media or Congress. It's being described as pure intimidation with the threat that any unauthorized CIA employee who leaks information could face the end of his or her career.
Much worse
In
than
exclusive communications obtained by CNN, one insider writes, "You don't jeopardize yourself, you jeopardize your family as well." Another says, "You have no idea the amount of pressure being brought to bear on anyone with knowledge of this operation."
Wow.
We have, again,
that's not Fox News.
No,
CNN.
It's not Fox News. If this isn't a scandal, I don't know what is. When will America wake up?
You jeopardize your family?
Oh, no, we have had...
Pretty amazing.
We have had sources. The administration is coming down on sources like you wouldn't believe. Like there's just no tomorrow. They are coming down on them hard.
And then on the other hand, referring to it as a phony scandal.
Yes.
Nothing to see there.
So
Move
why
along,
is
it's phony.
Why
really?
is it's so phony that why is the CIA taking unprecedented action? I'm telling you.
Who do they blame that on? Because they can't blame. Usually when this kind of stuff comes out, they just blame it on Fox News. It's right wing, it's extremist, blah blah blah.
They're
Don't listen to them
for a while.
It's pretty tough with CNN doing this.
They're going to call the senior management of CNN, and they are going to put the pressure on them. Back off, and they're going to start putting pressure on them and pressure on their reporters, and they're going to start calling them in one by one and saying your network is going off in the wrong direction, and you need to be aware of it. And I can't really meet with you anymore. I can't give you any kind of information. I can't give you any kind of access. And they will start to turn the spigots off. And so they will try to isolate CNN and freeze them out. And I know this to be true because I have seen it firsthand.
And they've laid the groundwork for this, too, in saying, the real news is Al Jazeera, it's Huffington Post, it's MSNBC.
They sure have.
So they're already they've never really included CNN in there. And now with someone like Jake Tapper doing a show there, that they feel CNN are, enemies. It'll be interesting to see if that holds up through the pressure or not, but at least they've reported this, and they deserve credit for it.
This administration and this government will either come down in flames, or we will be a fascist nation. There's no way. There are too many things that we know that they can't keep the lid on. They just can't keep the lid on forever. They can't. They can't keep the lid on this Benghazi thing forever. There's enough people that want to know what the truth is. You're going to have to start killing people because at some point, because we know there are patriots inside the CIA, inside the FBI, the DOJ. There are patriots inside these organizations. And right now, they're worried about going to jail. But when they're convinced, there's just no going back. When they're convinced this is going to be fascist, when they're convinced that this administration will will skirt the law every step of the way and lie to the people, they will start to ask themselves, what is worth living for? What is worth dying for? That's why the guy said, you're not just putting yourself at jeopardy, you're putting your family at jeopardy. These people's families are being threatened. You know, it's one thing when you threaten, your life, but when they threaten your family's life, then you start to say, well, now, wait a minute, hang on just a second. And these guys will do it. Remember what I said about the NSA? Forget about you. Okay, I live a clean life. Okay, they're not going to kill me. Really? Have your kids done anything? Has your wife done anything? Is there anything embarrassing at all in your family? How about your medical records? Is there anything there in your family's medical records that you don't want covered on the front page of the newspaper, that you don't want out? Is there anything there that you're just embarrassed by, that's not illegal, that you're just embarrassed by? Anything your children would be horrified by finding out about you, or finding out or having somebody else find out about them. That's how this is going to work. That's how this is working. And it's going to happen all the way down the line. And this is either going to come out and it is going to come down in flames, because once this thing starts to unravel, once this, I told you at the very beginning, this is going to go down as the most corrupt administration in the history of America. And it is. And it's not just this administration. It is the GOP as well. They're all in on it. Not as many as there are in this administration. Not as deep as there are in this administration. But it is the beginning of a fascist organization. It is. Yesterday, we told you that the SEC and the IRS are in collusion.
FEC.
What did I say?
S.
Okay, the FEC. They're in collusion. They have been sharing information, which is illegal to do. Nobody seems to care about that. You can't share information on political enemies. You can't go to the IRS and say, hey, can you help us get rid of this person? You can't do that. But that's exactly what they've done. The evidence is there. The paperwork is there. The memos, the emails are out.
And still, that's another phony scandal.
Another phony scandal.
I mean, if you happen to be just stumbled on this program and you're not a right-winger and you think, come on, these guys are always talking about scandals. Think about this for a second. When it was right around the election, we heard reports, and they were confirmed, of our congressmen going over there and asking questions about what happened and being told that they should not talk to specific congressmen because they might ask uncomfortable questions. And that was not something that was denied. It was confirmed.
They were also followed. The congressmen who went over were followed. Every step of the way by administration officials.
Now, why would that happen?
Jeez.
And now you see here.
It's KGB.
It's like that.
It is.
Yeah.
It's KGB tactics.
Then you have CNN finding a diary of this guy who was killed that we didn't apparently even bother to go look for. It was just right at the site. Then you have the development. Was it yesterday? The one where
the guy who was involved, the administration says they'd like to talk to, they didn't even look for him.
They didn't even look for him.
CNN
just found them, and this is a lead suspect in this attack.
Another CNN deal. Where they're finding lead suspects, and the administration claims they can't.
And then now we're finding out with confirmed information of families being threatened and dozens of CIA operatives on the ground that we didn't know were there.
Well,
what the hell happened here?
I have news for you.